right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Tonight, a teenager's room sits empty after a wrong-way driver took her life. The I-Team investigates how often it's happening and what's being done to stop it.
The sky is finally clearing. What that clearing sky and the last few days of showers and storms means for your Wednesday morning commutes.
But first tonight, Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner walks off the job, leaving the prosecutor's office without a leader and the state scrambling to step in.
We've got attorneys on the ground now ready to assist in that endeavor to ensure that public safety is respected and protected over the next 48 hours.
And breaking tonight, within the last 90 minutes, 5 on Your Side has confirmed an interim circuit attorney was sworn in late today. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. The move comes just hours after Kim Gardner's abrupt departure from the office 2 weeks ahead of schedule. We have live team coverage tonight. Robert Townsend is looking into the legal troubles Gardner could still face. But first, our Laura Barczewski has the latest on those breaking developments and what's next for the Circuit Attorney's Office.
Mike and Ann, Governor Mike Parson just confirmed with 5 on Your Side that General Counsel Evan Rodriguez will be the interim St. Louis Circuit Attorney alongside Andrew Bailey's general office and his deputy judge Bill Corrigan until the governor appoints a permanent replacement. Around 11:30 Tuesday morning, Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner shocked St. Louisans as she submitted a resignation email to Governor Mike Parson. Her resignation was supposed to be more than 2 weeks away.
Well, it was a dramatic announcement. I think it's a good thing for the people of St. Louis.
This happened just 2 hours before she was due in court for the quo warranto removal proceeding.
This is such an unprecedented situation, and we think it makes sense to see how the next few days play out.
In a statement Tuesday afternoon, Gardner announced she was working with St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell in his office to transition the job over to him. They were downtown ready to take over cases immediately. However, the governor is the only one who can appoint an official replacement, a process he's already started, interviewing 5 of 18 people who applied on Tuesday. Parson is expected to interview 3 of the 5 on Wednesday and make a decision by Friday.
We've met with the chief of police, we've met with the sheriff, we've met with the mayor on multiple times. We've done to be able to do that. We've met with the court systems, we've met with the U.S. prosecutor, we met with our own Attorney General's office to see how this is going to unfold.
Deputy Attorney General Judge Bill Corrigan will now be leading the team alongside interim St. Louis Circuit Attorney Evan Rodriguez, who was sworn in at Carnahan Courthouse late on Tuesday.
There are 5 attorneys on the ground now ready to assist, and certainly we intend to man the warrant lines 24/7. So as the police officers are catching violent offenders and need warrants, we'll stand ready to process that information and provide the police officers with the support they need and deserve to make our streets safe again.
Attorney General Andrew Bailey says even if the quo warranto process ends, he's going to hold Gardner accountable.
And we're going to take a look at everything that's happened, all the evidence that we have, the evidence that may still exist out there, and look at all of it, analyze it in context, and determine what went wrong and what systems need to be put in place to prevent it from ever happening again.
Because Kim Gardner was scheduled to resign June 1st, it's possible that whoever is permanently appointed as St. Louis Circuit Attorney might not be able to start Monday. So this team that's in place now will run the office until they can transition it over to that permanent replacement. Reporting live from downtown, Laura Barczewski, 5 on Your Side.
And Governor Parson also met with area faith leaders today to discuss picking a new circuit attorney.
We stressed that we thought it should be an African American. We didn't think it should be anybody who's already announced that they're going to run. And so I think that based upon all the concerns that we have, I believe the governor shares those concerns.
Parson also met with Mayor Tashara Jones today. In a statement, her office says she re-emphasized that the appointment should serve as a caretaker for the office who can make much-needed changes without the distraction of re-election politics in 2024.
So what's next for Kim Gardner and the troubled office she leaves behind? Robert Townsend spent the afternoon looking into that, and he's also live downtown and continues our team coverage.
And I talked to 2 of our legal analysts. Let me tell you this, both had plenty to say about the now former St. Louis Circuit Attorney.
I think that this has gotten worse and worse for her. And today, I think she probably just threw in the towel and said enough.
An embattled and controversial Kim Gardner is gone as St. Louis Circuit Attorney 16 days early before her official June 1st resignation.
I'm not very surprised that she stepped down today, given the upcoming court proceeding that was scheduled for this afternoon.
Among other things, Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey accused Gardner of failing to do her job and breaking the law by taking nursing classes. Gardner's office denied the claims.
One of the things that she was trying to do was to quash the subpoena that was asking for her school records.
Just after her resignation, Gardner's team filed a motion to dismiss the Quo Warranto case. In court today, a judge took the motion under advisement and scheduled another court date for next week. A big question now, what's next for Gardner?
Yeah, I think we'd all like to know.
I think so. This has been a very rough 6 months. And for Gardner herself, she's probably looking forward to taking a break. 5
on Your Side's legal analyst, St. Louis University law professor Dr. Anders Walker, and recently retired St. Louis federal judge Nanette Baker both agree now that Gardner is gone, one massive mess remains.
The real tragedy here is the fact that you have cases where the cases have been pending for so long.
Thousands of cases that still must be prosecuted after multiple lawyers left the circuit attorney's office. Cases analysts say will fall on Gardner's successor.
Everyone is going to have some patience here. This is not going to happen overnight.
I think that things are going to be reversed. We'll get back into the business of prosecution, and some of the chaos hopefully will die down.
Now, Walker and Baker say rebuilding the circuit attorney's office could take a minimum of 6 months. Live downtown, Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
Our coverage continues now on 5+, KSTK.com, and the KSTK YouTube page. You can watch Christine Byers' discussion with our legal experts for full analysis on what's next for Kim Gardner and the Circuit Attorney's Office.
Well, a clear and cooler night at the ballpark. Fog, though, could develop as you head out the door in the morning. So let's check in with Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell.
And we're thinking at this point, Mike, that it's not going to be all that widespread, but tomorrow morning we may be looking at some areas of fog, particularly in the low spots and in our river valleys, as of course, we've had some rain over the last few days. A lot of us have seen substantial rainfall the last few days. Skies clearing out. You have that low level moisture. Winds are light, but it is nice to see the clear sky. You can see this hour that we're just basically looking at the ground clutter pattern on the radar screen around St. Louis. There's no rain out there. The clearing line advancing down towards Cape Girardeau, pushing shower and thunderstorm chances along with it. So we are on the dry side here, looks like, for the next couple of days. So that clearing line continues to advance to the south. Some fog possible overnight, and that's mainly going to be in the river valleys. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, wildfire smoke from Canada. We look at our future cast. The fog is mainly, it looks like, in the river valleys, especially the Merrimack River Valley, the Big River, and along the Burbus River, where we could see those visibilities down around a half mile early tomorrow for about an hour or two, and then it's gone. We'll see you in a few minutes, Ann.
Just hours ago, Missouri state officials terminated Attorney General Andrew Bailey's emergency rule, placing limits on transgender health care for minors and some adults. Bailey issued the rule last month, requiring all new transgender patients to undergo several months of counseling before beginning medical interventions. But a St. Louis County judge granted a temporary restraining order to block it. Just last week, the state legislature passed a bill banning gender-affirming care for kids under the age of 18. The ACLU of Missouri released a statement tonight calling this a victory for Missourians, but says the fight is not over. It goes on to say while recently passed legislation is not as extreme as the Attorney General's unlawful rule, it still rejects the recommendations of every major medical association.
One woman is dead, 2 others hurt after a triple shooting in North St. Louis County. It happened late last night at a liquor store parking lot on Shepley Drive in Glasgow Village. Police say 34-year-old Cassandra Cole died. A man and a woman were also shot, but are expected to recover. Police are still looking for the gunman. Anyone with information can call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS, and you can remain anonymous. Tonight, the former city clerk of Floridale Hills is headed to federal prison. A judge sentenced Maureen Woodson today to 18 months in prison. She's also ordered to pay back the nearly $500,000 she stole from the struggling city. Woodson pleaded guilty to mail and wire fraud. Another former city employee, Donna Thompson, also pleaded guilty to the same charges and admitted to stealing nearly $160,000. She will be sentenced tomorrow.
A live look at the U.S. Capitol. Tonight, the due date to pay the country's debt is coming up. Deadline is June 1st. And just hours ago, President Biden met with congressional leaders to find a solution to the debt ceiling stalemate. House Republicans already passed a bill to raise the debt ceiling along with massive spending cuts. Democrats want to raise the ceiling with no conditions.
There was an overwhelming consensus, I think, in today's meeting, the congressional leaders, that defaulting on the debt is simply not an option.
It is possible to get a deal by the end of the week. It's not that difficult to get to an agreement.
We'll have to come together on something that can avoid default.
Warren, a historic default could make the stock market tank and unemployment spike.
Tonight, Missouri Lieutenant Governor Mike Keogh announced he's running for governor in 2024.
Where I grew up and where my parents lived, I really should still be at the bottom rung. I should have never made it. And because of my family support and my mother's love, we made it out of North St. Louis, and I stand in front of you today to run for governor.
Keogh kicked off his campaign earlier tonight in Holt Summit. He was appointed lieutenant governor in 2018 following Governor Eric Greitens' resignation. He was elected to the job in 2020. Last month, fellow Republican and Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft announced he's also running for governor. Term limits prevent Mike Parson from running again.
Wrong way driving. It forever changed the direction of one family's life.
When you are so completely drunk you don't know which way you're driving on the highway and you kill somebody.
Tonight, 5 on Your Side viewers point to one local highway. The I-Team uncovers what's being done to stop it.
Brighter, but not necessarily the bluest sky on Wednesday. That, plus another big change coming in time for the weekend.
Tonight, we focus on wrong way driving. Our I-Team recently sent out a survey on our worst roads and got over 1,200 responses in a week.
Among the responses, complaints about wrong way drivers. Senior investigative reporter Paula Vassan focuses on how it changed the life of one family in our area and how highway officials are working to curb this dangerous trend.
This is Hannah's room. She collected Barbies and her Squishmallows, and we haven't really changed it.
Her daughter's memory is tattooed on her arm.
Constantly I'm looking down and I see it and I think, oh, I love you too, babe.
Faye Maui wears her ashes.
I always have her with me. Hannah was killed at 19, so we say she's forever 19.
Killed last year by a wrong way driver here on Highway 21 in Jefferson County.
She had such severe brain damage that she was, no surgery could save her.
Court officials say the driver who crashed into Hannah was driving under the influence of alcohol. Hannah's death marks the second death on this highway as a result of wrong-way drivers within a few years. Since 2018, transportation officials have recorded 13 wrong-way driver crashes on Highway 21.
It's very frustrating.
In our recent survey on the worst St. Louis area roads, 10 other people complained of wrong-way drivers on Highway 21. Among their complaints, speeding and confusing layout and signage. Something needs to be done, one person said. Around the country, there are about 500 wrong-way driving deaths a year. And when alcohol or drugs are involved, the odds of being a victim jump.
Here in Missouri, federal data shows driving deaths involving alcohol represents 29% of all driving deaths.
Researchers say drugs are making things worse. In Missouri, over the past decade, drug-impaired driving deaths have increased by about 100%. With marijuana now legal in Missouri, Highway Patrol spokesperson Logan Bolton expects to see more drivers under the influence.
They'll smoke marijuana and then they'll get behind the wheel, or they'll do it while they're driving. You cannot get behind the wheel after smoking, and you can't smoke while you're in the car. Your reaction time's slowed, your judgment is off.
What are you doing to try to curb this dangerous trend?
We have the ability to actually kind of visualize where the problem areas are, and we can send troopers to those areas to try to be at least more visible and enforce those traffic laws in those areas.
He says his team is using a new type of software that shows where crashes are happening the most.
Will you be taking another look at Highway 21?
If it's a problem that the community is reaching out about, we will definitely send more people to that area to make sure it stops.
Others believe it's about enforcing harsher penalties for people who drive impaired.
And most drunk drivers, on average, drive 80 times before they're stopped for their first DWI. That's 80 times on average.
Jared Bright is a spokesperson with the nonprofit Mothers Against Drunk Driving. He hopes Missouri will one day require ignition interlock devices for all drunk driver offenders. They're small breathalyzers that prevent a car from starting unless the person behind the wheel is sober enough.
But it doesn't seem to be a priority to the legislature.
As Maui visits her daughter's bedroom, left untouched.
It was her to-do list that she had.
She thinks of the future her daughter could have had.
She wanted to help foster kids. She wanted to see this world be a better place.
If only, she says, another driver had made a different choice. For the I-Team, Paula Vasan, 5 on your side.
The Jefferson County Juvenile Office tells our I-Team the driver who crashed into Hannah was charged and convicted with driving under the influence of alcohol. If you have a tip for Paula and the 5 on your side I-Team, you can leave a voice message. That number, 314-444-5231. You can also email Paula at tips@ksdk.com, and all calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
A fix to a massive water main break along I-64 could take weeks. That's the word tonight from the city's water division. A 60-inch water main break flooded all lanes of 64 near Tam Avenue during the Friday evening rush hour. Tonight, water is still flowing, causing low pressure at nearby homes and businesses. The city is now working on hiring a contractor to excavate and make the repair.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with the Weather First forecast. It was nice to have some dry time today, Scott.
It was. It took a while for us to get there, but we certainly enjoyed it this afternoon, and a little bit of sunshine coming through those clouds as they finally started to break up, and now that clearing line farther to the south of St. Louis. Missouri Botanical Garden going to be a nice place to visit over the next couple of days. Clouds keep moving on to the south. They are now down across far southern Missouri and across far southern portions of Illinois. Mainly clear skies from the metro area going back to the north now. And all of those shower and thunderstorm chances, they are shifting towards the east coast. So we have settled down this evening. Skies clearing out. Cool. It's 63 degrees at Lambert. Our coolest spots right now, right around 60 degrees. Dew point's 57. So there's a lot of low-level moisture still around from all the rain we've had in the last couple of days. 69 was our high today. The low temperature, 60 degrees. Tomorrow will be a few degrees cooler down into the 50s. And as we talked about earlier, some of the areas, especially to the south and southwest of St. Louis, we'll look at some patches of fog given all of the low-level moisture that's still around, the light winds and the clearing sky. Now, this is the visible satellite picture, a little bit different for you. And what we're looking at here, more of a photogenic type thing, actually seeing what's in the atmosphere. And that was from earlier this afternoon before sunset. This little area here, and it stretches across Iowa, Wisconsin, back into Minnesota, and then goes up into Canada. We have wildfires. They're extensive, over 1 million acres across parts of northwestern and west central portions of Canada. All of that smoke is going to be drifting in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and in those upper level winds, some of it makes its way towards us. So tomorrow, as this backdoor front's coming in from the north and northeast, it's dragging some of that down in the upper level pattern. We will see the sky not as crystal clear blue as you might like, but more of a milky sky because of that smoke. But it otherwise won't have much of an impact on us, if any. You're looking at that backdoor front moving in, stalling out. It's not like a typical front. Doesn't come in here plowing thunderstorms through. But on Friday, we get a more typical kind of front coming in from the west. We'll be back close to 80, and it'll be a little more humid, and we'll have that chance for some showers and thunderstorms rolling towards Friday afternoon into Friday evening. Odds are the focus for severe weather much farther south of St. Louis. It dries us out for the weekend. City SC has a rather late evening game on Saturday as they take the pitch at about 8:55 for kickoff. They got a lot of festivities pregame, so it starts at 8:30, but kickoff's 8:55. And then you've got sunshine going into Sunday and Monday, but outlying areas, 40s for lows on Sunday morning. So the next couple of days, not bad at all. But it's going to be a little bit cool heading into the weekend.
All right, and the pitch, we're getting it. Proud of your vocab there.
We're
Scott,
trying.
aren't you impressed? Not Scott. Frank is your name. Aren't you impressed?
He really thinks he's cool with these soccer terms. He really does. The Cardinals and Brewers, a look at the St. Louis roots of the Brewers closer. And some NBA team got really, really lucky in the draft lottery tonight.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
The goal is simple for the Cardinals, just win the series. And despite the awful April, if you can win series from here on out, you're going to be just fine. Unfortunately, because of what happened tonight, the Cardinals are going to have to win tomorrow to win the series against the Brewers. Second inning, and Nolan Arenado does it again. The 5th game in a row, he homers, and every one of them is just a jack to left field. What a player. They need others to deliver, like Brendan Donovan, who singles in the 4th that scores Tommy Edman, and it's 2-1 Cardinals. Jordan Montgomery lasted until the 6th inning when Brian Anderson homered off of him, and Milwaukee led it at that point 3-2. Devin Williams got a 5-out save, and the Brewers hang on for a 3-2 victory. So the pride of Hazelwood West, Devin Williams, is the Brewers closer. He's already been the Rookie of the Year and the Reliever of the Year. We profiled the Phenom when he was in high school, and this is how we started off that feature 9 years ago. You are looking at the most talked about right arm in high school baseball in the area. His name is Devin Williams. He's out of Central casting to be a big leaguer.
Got him! 3 up, 3 down through the heart of the Padres order for Devin Williams.
I mean, I didn't envision the way that it's played out, I think my goal is just to make it here. But then once you get here, the goal is to stay here.
He's not just staying. Devin Williams is starring with a .73 earned run average this season. What do you think when you see that ERA?
I need to get it down.
It can't go much lower.
That's the goal, though, right?
Yeah.
Is to continue to get better. I'm not satisfied with that.
But it's not surprising for us who saw Devin with that absolute knockout stuff at Hazelwood West. He told me of his dream then, and today he told me of his goals.
Hopefully you'll be able to say, I was one of the best to ever do it. A guy that showed up, ready to play every day, cared about his teammates, was a good teammate, and, just left it all on the field.
What a pitcher. Hey, I've never been a Laker fan. I'm a Celtic guy. But if the Lakers can win the Western Conference Final against the Nuggets, that would be good. You see, Nuggets owner Stan Kroenke could be on his way to a world championship in 3 of the 4 major sports. The problem is, I like the Denver players. Nikola Jokic is 7 feet, 284 pounds, and the man has great touch. He also moves really well. Look at this spin move. Many people think that he is the best offensive player in the world. And they also have Michael Porter Jr. from Mizzou, who had 15 points. He'll knock down that 3 right there. And Jokic had a circus shot to end the third. He had 34 points, 21 rebounds, 14 assists. Denver wins game 1, 132-126. It almost seems unfair. The San Antonio Spurs won the NBA draft lottery tonight. The organization with 5 world championships and who won the lottery and selected David Robinson and Tim Duncan will now get the first pick. It's significant because Victor Wembanyama is regarded as one of the greatest prospects in league history. The 7'5" French star has mad guard skills to go along with that size. And that will do it in sports.
All right, Frank, thanks.
Taco Tuesday trademark, the one restaurant threatening others to shell out money for using that phrase.
And a reminder, the Folds of Honor campaign is now underway. You can round up at the register at any area Schnuck store through May 30th. Money raised provides scholarships for spouses and children of fallen or wounded service members and first responders. Five on Your Side is a proud partner of the campaign.
Apple is rolling out new accessibility features to make it easier for people with cognitive, vision, and hearing disabilities. This includes simplifying apps, type to speak for calls and conversations, and point to speak, which reads aloud words the phone is pointed towards. The new features will roll out later this year.
Amazon is working to speed up shipping times. The company has created 8 regions to ship products over shorter distances. The items available closer to you will now show up higher in your search results. Amazon says more orders could arrive in one day or even sooner.
Tonight, a battle over the phrase Taco Tuesday. Taco John's trademarked it in 1989, and it has threatened legal action against other restaurants which try to use it. Now, Taco Bell has filed a petition with the Patent and Trademark Office, arguing it's a common phrase. A decision could take up to 2 years.
And Scott has one final check of the weather. Scott.
All right, no hot sauce for you tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be just about mild, starting out around 55 to 60 degrees and then back around 80 tomorrow afternoon. We have a little patchy fog perhaps early on, but it should get out of here pretty quickly, and it's mainly in the River Valley areas. A couple of nice days on the way for St. Louis.
I'm going to mix my mild and my hot.
And there you have it. 5 on Your Side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.